Hi, I'm Dorothy Gable, and this is the Biblical Dementia Caregiving channel. If you found this video helpful, click the like and don't forget to subscribe. These videos are to aid you in your caregiving journey but are no substitute for medical care. If you notice a serious incident or drop in function, see a medical professional. This is part of the job of a primary caregiver, ensuring that your loved one has all the resources they need. Today I will talk about the 3 main stages for dementia. These are general, but if you know the particular disease your loved one has, more detailed staging outlines might be available. Staging is for the benefit of the caregiver and not necessarily part of a medical diagnosis. The characteristics of the stages will aid you in coping day to day as well as planning for the future. Having a glimpse of what's to come helps us prepare. The 3 basic stages for all types of dementia are early, middle, and late. The early stages. Your goals are to enable and assist. In the early stages, your loved one is fairly capable and independent. Well, there will be times where a little more assistance will be needed. Help your loved one complete their bucket list. Is there a trip they've put off, visits to distant grandkids, an activity your loved one had planned to accomplish sometime in the future? With dementia rearing its head, there is no better time than in the earliest stages before loss of functioning will make these out of reach and unadvisable. Help your loved one draw up powers of attorney if not already done. I took my mother to an elder care guardianship attorney who gently stepped her through the process, eliciting her wishes for both financial and healthcare powers of attorney. It's easy to think we can wait, but your loved one's cognitive slide can advance past the point where they can understand these concepts or be able to verbalize their desires. If possible, ask your loved one to state their preference for burial, cemetery, and funeral services. These are hard matters to bring up. If they are reluctant, try to discover if your loved one would prefer burial over cremation, buying a plot in a local cemetery, or a distant state. And type of memorial. I was blessed that my mother not only bought a local burial plot, paid ahead for her funeral, she also wrote out the list of hymns for her memorial. In this stage, provide as much help as your loved one needs and will allow. Staying active and engaged is crucial to slowing the slide. Sometimes it's tempting to take over, do too much. One of my sisters was great at stepping back and letting mom complete tasks. She helped when it became necessary, but not before. Be mentally prepared for your loved one to advance to the middle stages where you will have to adapt to the changes. Advancing from stage to stage does not occur in a straight line. It's more like an oscillating wave, gradually heading downward. Up one day, down the next. But as your loved one progresses to the middle stages, they will be less up than down until the worst days the month before become the new normal and their best days. For the middle stages, your goals are to help, protect, and nurture. Eventually, your loved one will slide into the middle stages, needing more assistance and care. As your loved one's ability to read and understand a calendar, follow instructions, and remember to complete periodic tasks deteriorate, you have to step in and perform functions that are now beyond their capabilities. Some of the hard decisions will be being allowed to take care of the finances, paying monthly bills and seeing their annual commitments are met, such as property taxes, assisting with their savings and income taxes. Finding providers to maintain the home, assist with bathing, or oversee medications. You might reach a point where your loved one will no longer be able to go with you on errands, shop, or attend events. Be on the lookout for signs your loved one lacks the energy or stamina, grows confused with increasing difficulty moving, and unable to adjust to new places. Eventually, you will need to find a sitter so your loved one can remain in the safety and security of your home. Can your loved one safely live alone? Do they forget to turn off a burner, not lock the doors, wander, are easily lost, not remembering to eat, or repeating actions that had already been done? Eventually, your loved one might have to choose between moving in with family or to a residential facility. There are more options today. A friendly, nurturing assisted living close to our home became the perfect solution for my outgoing mother. She had new friends. Sometimes in the middle phases, your loved one will have to give up the car when they can no longer respond appropriately to unexpected events, such as a car pulling out in front of them or a child running into the street. Decreased reaction time, along with the inability to interpret visual stimuli, indicate it's not safe for your loved one to drive. With failing cognition, your loved one can become accusative anxious and irritable with periods of anger. Some might become paranoid as their short-term memory declines. They will not remember decisions they had recently made. For example, one woman gave away a necklace to her niece. A few months later, when the niece wore it as a way to say thank you, the woman accused her of theft. She gave it back, broken-hearted by the accusation. Don't forget to blame the disease. Your loved one would never have said those things apart from dementia. Even if your loved one had recognized their dementia earlier, they might reach a point where they do not remember and will not acknowledge that they have dementia at all. The brain is not able to analyze the significance of their current deficits and cannot update to the present reality. In their mind, they're as sharp as they'd been years ago. A later video will look at ways to help our loved one get through their day despite their dementia denial. For a loved one to stay active and engaged, they will need to transition to easier, safer activities. For example, a banker found joy in sorting money and change. A former owner of a dry cleaning business was content to fold clothes and towels over and over again. One woman watched her husband sit on the sidewalk and chase ants with his toddler granddaughter. She realized that was okay. It was good. He was loved, happy, and interacting. The key goals for the middle stages are to ensure your loved one is in a safe, nurturing, caring environment. Before I discuss the late stages, I want to caution you that not all survive to the later stages. The brain keeps the body functioning and healthy, and as the brain declines, its ability to maintain autonomic systems such as digestion, stable blood pressure, ability to react to tripping hazards, or adjust to uneven surfaces, a person's overall health will also decline. Some will succumb to other diseases before dementia runs its course. For the late stages, your goals are to love and protect. Protect and ensure your loved one has the best care possible. This means she feels loved and is safe. This can be either at home or in your loved one facility. Even if in a facility, your loved one will need you to work with staff to see her needs are met. Observing mom's difficulty chewing and loss of strength to bite down on food, I went to the director to put in a softened, cut-up food order for her. If your loved one continues through to the late stages, do not fear. The Lord will be with you through it all. At this point, we have to let go of their former preferences and accept the current realities. Find comfortable clothes that are easy to put on. Accept that hearing aids, dentures, and even glasses might no longer be tolerated. Either your loved one no longer remembers their function and struggles to put them on properly, or they no longer need them. My mother was happy and content without her hearing aids and dentures. Thankfully, she never lost her glasses, although I would occasionally find her wandering the halls without them. CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, was developed for healthy patients in a medical crisis. It is essentially assault on the body that your loved one in the final stages might be too fragile to endure. One day, the director of Mom's facility called me in and advised it was time for a do not resuscitate order. A year later, we had to activate her healthcare power of attorney as she could no longer make medical decisions for herself. Hospice in our area was wonderful and a great help to the family and staff as we cared for my mother through the dying process. Even in this, we can choose to walk with them and not allow our loved one to live their last days alone. Hospice helps family and care facilities provide support through the dying phase. While helping my mother was difficult and emotionally painful at times, I never regretted staying by her side. The main stages are early, middle, late. The next video will focus on the early stages. If you want to know more about dementia caregiving, check out my book, Dementia Caregiving from a Biblical Perspective, Your Guide for the Journey, available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble Books, AmelianChristianBook.com, and Westbound Press. Thanks for watching. Made possible thanks to my videographer and producer, my husband, Ralph Gable, creator of electronics for the inquisitive experimenter.